How you doing today?
Doing all right.
Great, great. I am Seth Pollack with SB Nation, the NBA League Manager, and of course Evan Dunlap from Orlando Pinstriped Post. We're going to talk NBA predictions today. Evan, let's just jump right into it. I've got a couple questions for you about the Magic. Nobody knows more about the Magic than you do. Obviously, it's going to be a transition season, as we like to say.
Sure.
So, how many games do you have the Magic winning this year?
In the low 20s. For the purposes of this exercise, let's just say 22,
22.
because 60 losses is a nice round number. Yeah, this team just doesn't have a lot of talent, and a lot of the best players, guys like Flalo, Aaron Flalo, J.J. Redick, Jameer Nelson, they're Glenn Davis. They're like sixth men types on most teams, but in Orlando they're going to be asked to play 25, 30-plus minutes and take a lot of that load. So it's not a very talented team, and it's not one that's going to win a lot of games.
Yeah, yeah, I hear you. Is that is your prediction above or below what kind of the national pundits are saying?
Well, Kelly Dwyer of Yahoo had 13. I'm going to say it's going to be a little higher than 13.
Hmm.
Basketball Prospectus has 26. I'm about 22. Vegas has 23 and a half. So if we're going Vegas, I'll take the under.
Okay, take the under on 23. Gotcha. And this will be an interesting question for you, like you said about the talent. Who's going to be the best player? Who's the team MVP of the Magic this season?
Um,
You
I'm
can't
tempted
pick
to.
none of the above.
No, I understand. I'm going to say Aaron Aflalo,
Yeah,
but it's very difficult for me to say that because he hasn't played yet. Even in the preseason, he's had a nagging hamstring injury that's kept him out. It's not serious, but it's the preseason. There's no need to really rush him back. I think when all 82 are in the books, he's going to be their best player. But I will say that Glenn Davis is going to have a heck of a season. He's played very well in the preseason. He played pretty well last year with Dwight Howard out. And if it's not a Flalo, it'll probably be Glenn Davis, your star player for the Orlando Magic.
Glenn Davis, your star player for the Orlando Magic.
I know.
That says
I
it
know.
all, right? All right. So
Yes.
who's the X factor? Who's the guy you're kind of thinking, could break out, or if the team is going to, shock the world and win 25 games, who's going to have to step up and be better than expected?
Um, I'm tempted to say there's not really an X factor, to be honest, just because the season isn't about winning and losing necessarily. It's about laying a foundation for the years ahead. But in the spirit of answering the question, breakout season or if the team's going to go places, I guess maybe J.J. Redick. He's
Yeah.
had a pretty good preseason. He'll be in his seventh year now, believe it or not, sixth or seventh. Um, it's not clear how many minutes he'll get backing up Aaron Aflalo, but they're going to have to play the two of them at the same time just because they're both so talented. You can't keep them off the floor, and I think JJ's going to have a pretty good year too. But X factor. When you think the word X factor, you think like a guy like James Harden in Oklahoma City, a guy who's going to put a team over the top. There's no top over for Orlando to go over necessarily, so I don't know how well the term X factor applies to the Magic, but we'll say JJ.
Okay, fair enough. I would have thought Ione. That would have been
Oh, that's fair. Yeah, no, he's having a decent preseason. I like him a lot,
Mhm.
and but really, I mean, what's his ceiling? 8 points, 5 rebounds. Like
Yeah, he certainly came out of nowhere last year with the Hornets and was pretty impressive.
what a great find for Del Demps and his team there. No, that's he's a good player. I like him a lot, but I don't think he's going to start over Vucevic. And really, his ceiling at he's 27, 28 now. Not sure how much more room there is to improve, but there's no question he's an NBA player for sure.
Yeah, yeah. All right, good call. So this next question, just before you answer, remember we're trying to keep this, not an hour long. So, try to condense your thoughts. Your biggest concerns going into the season for the Magic.
Well, where to begin? I'm going to go with defense. I mean, broadly speaking, the roster just doesn't have a lot of talent on it. But I think there's a real issue defensively. Without Dwight Howard and Stan Van Gundy helped make this team top 5 defensively overall in the last 5 years.
Right.
Dwight and Stan have left us now. They've departed. And you're looking at a team without any real plus defenders and no backline rim protection. Ion blocks some shots and he's active and energetic. The same can be said for Vucevic, although he's less of a shot blocker. But you look at that perimeter defense, especially guys like Nelson and Turkoglu playing heavy minutes, trying to keep guys out of the paint. Aflalo has the reputation of a great defender, but and this is a statistic. Easy for me to say. This is a statistic that I've brought out a lot in my preview posts. Aflalo was the worst defender of the NBA last year, with a minimum of 500 plays defended.
Really?
According to Synergy, yeah, the very worst. And the thought from talking with the guys at Denver Stiffs, our Nuggets blog, is that maybe he got that big contract before last year, and he might have taken that money as a sign that he needs to be more of an offensive player, which is fine, and he's a fine offensive player.
Yeah.
And having not spoken to Aaron, I certainly can't say for sure whether that went to his head or not. We're all just sort of playing blog psychologist here. But yeah, he's going to really need to step it up. He and Quentin Richardson are probably the team's most talented defenders. How often Quentin Richardson's going to play, it's an open question. So to sum up, defense is going to be a real problem for Orlando this year. Offense, they have some guys who can score. Maybe not consistently, but guys like Harrington, Davis, Nelson, Aflalo, Redick, they can fill it up. But defense is, I think, a bigger concern.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Thanks.
So, final question for you, Evan. Who do you have coming out of the East, winning these conference finals, and who's going to win it all this year?
I'm going to go out on a limb and go with Miami.
Yeah.
Great team, got even better in the offseason as far as I'm concerned. I think adding Ray Allen is huge for that team. And I think, I don't know how much Rashard Lewis has left, but at the minimum, you can't argue with the price. And I think even a depleted Rashard Lewis is more versatile and more effective than James Jones or Mike Miller. So it's hard to pick against Miami. So I have them coming out of the East, and I do have them repeating as NBA champions.
Okay. Well, hard to go against that pick, Evan. So, well, look, hey, it was great catching up with you, seeing you through this Google Hangout thing. It's a pretty neat tool. I think we're going to use a lot this year, and this is kind of our first attempt, and we'll get better at it and have fun with it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is cool.
All right, great. Talk to you later, Evan.
See ya.